I'm going to break down for you today the one trait that I see in myself and in my clients as really being the reason why we have achieved every single thing we have in our businesses. I think if you want to be successful in business, it really does just come down to one trait at the end of the day. Yes, we can have all the great marketing strategies, we can make all the sales, do all of the things, but really it comes down to just one trait at the end of the day. And I'm going to be breaking down what that actually is for you today and how you can actually embody a bit more of that yourself if you're wanting just a bit more success in your business. So something which you may not realize, but I feel like this has really been the big thing which has got me to where I am today, is the trait that I always follow through with things. And as I said, I see this a lot in my clients as well, of even and especially when no one is watching, we will still do the thing. We will follow through, we'll do what we said we were going to do. And especially as well, when it just doesn't matter, when it's looking like it isn't working, we'll still show up and we'll still do the thing. And I think this is so important, especially in a space and a time when we're talking so much about strategy and so much about the best way to sell and the best platforms to market on and all of these things. Actually, your strategy can only take you so far. To an extent, there's always going to be that factor of, are you actually doing the strategy? How much action are you actually taking through on that? Are you actually following through? And especially when no one is watching, what do you like when no one's watching? How do you behave in those moments? Because it's those moments which really define the success you do actually or don't actually achieve in business at the end of the day. I have not missed, for context, a single day of my schedule for any of my social medias, my email list either, since I created them. I decided when I was going to be posting things, I decided how often, I decided what I was going to be posting, and I did the thing, and I stuck to that specific thing. And, I've changed my strategy, I've changed my schedule throughout these times as these have gone on, but I've changed them intentionally from a strategic place, and I've always stuck to these when I've changed these as well. Whenever I say that I'm doing something in my business, I know for a fact I've built this evidence now with myself that I know I can trust myself to actually follow through and do the thing. I've built that trust with myself, which is so important because it means that when I'm doing something outside of my comfort zone, when I'm doing something new, when I'm even just creating a new strategy and a new plan, it's not a question of, am I going to be able to stick to this? Am I going to follow through with this? I know I'm going to because I've already built that muscle of just trust with myself there. And this is such an underrated skill to really build and focus on as a service provider, because if you can trust yourself to follow through with anything that you decide you're going to be doing, all you need to do then is figure out what is the strategy I'm following. And once we've got this, we know it's going to be successful because there's nothing standing in your way of you actually utilizing that, of you actually implementing that, if you've actually built that trust with yourself. This is why I say business does actually get to be really easy and simple. It is not super hard to actually do this, but there are times still in business where things do get hard, where things are going to be challenging, when you're going to have a really busy week, when your schedule is going to be so jam-packed that you're saying, I don't know how I'm going to create that content, send to my email list this week, all of those things. And there are times when it will be hard, but are you actually sticking through with these things and following through with these, even in those harder weeks, even in those harder moments, those times when it is so easy to say, you know what, I'm just going to skip this week, or I'm not going to do that email to my list, or, I won't do that extra post for the launch, all of those things. It sounds really small on the day, but it's not actually about that one post going up. It's not about that one email you're sending. It's just about building the habit of following through with what you said you were going to do. And actually, especially in those times when it is harder, when no one's going to notice, all of those things, that is the time to really be building that muscle for yourself, because it means that in the really important moments when they do come, when you're giving a really big presentation, when you're hosting your first ever workshop and it feels really huge, when you are, sending that email to your list about this new launch, it means you're actually going to follow through because you've made it easy for yourself to actually do that in all of these times that you've given yourself this evidence. So by me actually knowing that if I give myself permission to back out on small decisions in the moments where, it really doesn't matter, no one's going to notice if I send 2 emails this week instead of 3, all of those things, I'm really just giving myself the excuse and giving myself the get out of jail free card for the moments that actually do matter. And it's really then easier for me to quit on those really important moments, to not take that sales call because I didn't feel like it, to not reach out to that potential client, all of those things. And it means that those small moments led to me sacrificing the really big moments and missing out on the really important things. So yes, we can make it easier and simpler to do those things, but at the end of the day, there are going to be days when you don't feel like showing up. There are going to be days you don't feel like doing the thing, and yet, are you actually showing up anyway? Can you be that person who does the thing no matter how they're feeling, no matter what the weather's looking like, and actually meaning that as well, you wouldn't even be able to tell that you were having an off day. You wouldn't even be able to tell that you were really behind that week. All of those things, that is such a powerful position to be in. I really decided years ago when I started my business to be the person who follows through regardless. It's why I've made 6 figures in revenue. It's why I've been traveling for the last 2 years. It's why I've had 85 plus one-to-one clients now. And this is honestly, for me and my clients, this is the big secret behind how we've gotten here, is actually just following through and building that muscle in our businesses. So that is the one trait that I truly believe is the reason why me and my clients have seen the success that we have and have got as far as we have in our businesses, because we always follow through with things regardless of how we're feeling, how easy or hard it's feeling in the moment. If you found this helpful, make sure you give this video a like and make sure you subscribe so you do not miss the videos I'm posting up every other day at the moment.